All right, welcome back. I am Merrick, your host. This is the Movement Experience, and I'm excited to have my friend Niko here. First time on a podcast.
First time on a podcast.
Atta boy. So This is episode 11, and we're talking to Niko. How do you say your last name properly?
Sahamis.
Sahamis.
Yeah.
With all the, I was going to say.
It's not Sahamalopoulos. It's Sahamis.
Yeah. What's with the Apollopolis?
So that's like the northern Greeks usually have typically is the Opolis.
Oh.
Yeah. So like the ones that are down from the south, which are we're from the Peloponnese.
Yeah.
So like Sparta, that's our hometown.
Yeah. Ooh.
So like the ISs, like
Wait a minute.
Sahamis.
You're actually from Sparta?
That's my hometown.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my hometown. My dad has a house there.
Did you cry during 300?
I had anxiety watching the movie the whole time. So when I was 6 years old, my first trip to Greece, my mom took with my brother and my sister. My dad stayed back because he had the restaurants.
Right.
So we went there for a month.
When you were
five or six? Five years old.
Yeah.
And I still remember this trip, like vaguely, but like there's certain pieces that I completely remember.
Right.
And we were, my uncle's name is Leonidas, which is Leonidas.
Right.
So he would take me to the statue, and he told me the whole story about the 300 Spartans, and they were attacked by the Persians, and blah 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 blah. The 300, the best Greeks went and defended Sparta, and also he would take me on these hikes. And when I mean hikes at 5 years old, like we're going on these like 2-hour hikes when I was 5. So he'd pick me up, put me on his shoulders when I was tired and stuff.
You're
like
climbing
that.
a mountain.
Yeah, we're climbing a fucking mountain. Legit, like a mountain. So like where we are in Sparta is the second largest mountain behind my house.
Okay.
It's called Taitos. It's the second largest mountain in Greece.
Okay.
It's a naturally shaped pyramid.
Okay.
It looks like a pyramid.
Yep.
But we walk up there, and that's where like we used to discard all the babies.
That's
that's
legit.
That's legit. That's where they have that pit.
And not all the babies.
No,
just the
weak ones.
The deformed ones.
Deformed or weak.
What do you mean weak?
So if they were like underweight, if they were if they're underweight, if they were
runts.
The runts, yeah.
Sorry, Marco.
Yeah. Oh, come on now.
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. But anyway,
he would have made the Greek standard.
I think so. I mean, we're about the same size, so hopefully I would make the cut.
Hopefully you would have made it.
Hopefully I would make the cut. Definitely growing up. Yes, I made the cut because my dad and my uncle are so competitive that they would make me and my cousin box like at 2-3 years old. Like
you're kidding.
No.
Okay, so let's get into this a little bit. Obviously your family is all Greek.
Yes.
So your dad, born and raised in
Sparta.
Mother born and raised in Greece.
Yep.
Same area.
Anevriti. So like there's Sparta here.
Yep.
And then there's a little mountain. Yep. It's called Anevriti, and that's literally it's a village on top of this mountain. So she's from there.
Great calves. I bet those people have
great
calves.
No, honestly, man, if you drive to Anevriti and it's very close to like our little village.
Sure.
But if you drive up there, man, it is scary. Like you're literally driving like this on a narrow road that fits one car. Yeah. And then when someone comes down the mountain with a truck, like a delivery truck or something like that, you got to back up, go as tight as you can to the mountain, pull your mirrors, get as tight as you can to the mountain so this guy can come around you.
Wow.
And like you look over, there's no meridian, there's no
When they made this trail, they're like, oh, we'll never have more than one donkey on the trail at a time.
They still have donkeys and sheep. They got goat herders and everything.
I bet.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's like, we don't need to make it wider.
You know what, man? Like
it's only one donkey in the village.
When you go there, there's only 15,000 people in Sparta.
Okay.
When you go there, they literally.
It's because you guys kept killing the babies.
Exactly.
If you didn't kill the baby, you could have a couple million people.
I never really thought about it that way.
Yeah, man, you guys culled the herd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, but it's a small village, about 15,000 big palm trees. It's a beautiful city. But it really takes you back in time.
Oh, I bet.
Like it really is. Like
that's the one thing. The old world, and we say that, and we know what that means because my dad came from Italy. Your dad came. So we talk about the old world, but people don't know what that is. I mean, old world. That's not a 250-year-old building. That's a 6,000-year-old. Whatever.
And older, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
People like they say it's 2000, 2000 BC, and so on and so forth. Like the Parthenon, the Colosseum.
Yep.
Like this is old stuff, man. This is stuff that like out here. I mean, you find things out here like from the natives and indigenous out here from back in the day, but that's the root of the Western world came from. From Greece and Italy,
democracy itself comes from Greece.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I love voting.
And without the 300 Spartans, there probably wouldn't have been democracy. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, that battle is actually. I mean, the movie obviously takes a little bit of.
They did a little more of like mythology towards it, right?
Sure.
But that story is true.
It's a true story. Yeah. They were 300, and I believe they had 6,000 militia or something like that. They were there.
Yeah, about 1,000. Yeah, about 1,000. It wasn't much, but there was they say there was close to 1 million.
That's right.
1 million Persians.
Yeah.
And if you watch, there's a documentary on that movie 300, the actual movie from Jared Butler. They have like an actual like a history part of it too.
Yep.
And this lady, this historian said they slaughtered about 250,000 Persians.
Wow.
Like I think that's honestly, I think that it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't make sense.
Well,
but
a lot of the Persian army, to clear, like some of them were slaves.
They were slaves.
Yeah, so they didn't. It's not like they wanted to fight; they're forced to fight. So you've got people forced to fight versus dudes who literally only fought.
That's all they did.
That's all they were.
They trained since they were 5-6 years old.
That's
they would leave. They would let them like literally send them out in the wild.
Yeah.
And if you come back, you made it. If you didn't come back, well, hey, guess what? Better have another son.
Yeah.
Again,
Unreal.
how crazy is that, right?
Yeah. No, it's unreal.
So, anyways, my dad did come from Greece. My dad and my uncle.
Yep.
They're twin brothers.
Okay. So your dad and uncle, twin brothers.
Yep.
Born in Greece.
Born in Greece.
Mother is from Greece.
Mother's from Greece. Dad's from Greece.
Your mom.
So how the story unfolds really is how we ended up here in Abbotsford. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So my father moved when he was 16 years old. He moved to Toronto.
Okay. First of all, why did your dad want to come to Canada?
So we had friends, a family, so on and so forth. They needed to make some money because it was very, very tough to make money in Greece
at the time.
Because after the Civil War, like it was.
When was the Civil War in Greece?
It was in the 70s, I think it was.
Right. Okay.
Right? So
what was it over? Do you remember?
Honestly, man, like I don't know.
Okay. We want democracy. We don't.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but it was very tough times, especially after World War II.
Yeah.
Like my father grew up in a house actually about this size with 8 people.
Wow.
With dirt floor.
6 siblings. Like 6 children. And
6
2
children,
parents.
2 parents. Yeah.
Wow.
So the house is actually this size.
Wow.
This room, which is not very big.
Dirt floor.
1 bed.
Wow.
1 bed.
I bet you he grilled that into you every single day.
So yeah,
when he tucked you in at night.
100%.
You're so lucky you get your own bed, Niko.
Very hard
you only
for
have
stuff,
one.
Man.
I had 1 bed for 18 children.
Yeah. So
Dad, you said you
used to rotate
it.
Yeah. So, and then also have too. They had like 1 bike that they would share.
Right.
To go, to get back and forth. My dad was the youngest.
That's not bad because you only go to school. Like he's got 6 siblings. You go to school once a week.
So I told you this is crazy too. You know how I said my dad's a twin, right?
Yes.
So my dad's the youngest of the twin.
Okay.
Because he's 2 days younger.
How the?
Yeah, 2 days younger.
2 days?
Yeah. So my uncle's born May 21st, 58, and my dad's born May 23rd, 58.
Wow. So he was born like right in the morning, full day of labor.
Yeah.
And
So
then
I
he was
think
born
what
right
happened
because
they had a midwife come there.
Sure.
I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong, Dad. Sorry, but like, I believe the midwife came, and she had the baby and this and that when my uncle was born. And she said, I guess apparently she had pain. Afterwards, she's like, so they called the midwife back. She's like, you have another baby. No ultrasound or nothing like that.
Of course.
And then here comes my dad.
Dirt floor. I don't think ultrasounds are getting passed around pretty easily there.
You have a very valid point there.
Dirt floor. It's like,
midwife. You're not going to the hospital, right?
No,
so it just that's how it was done back then, right? So when my dad 16 came to Canada, make some money, met my mom.
Okay.
Which her dad had a Greek restaurant.
So wait a minute. Your dad comes to Canada without knowing your mother.
Yes.
So he happens to go to the only place in Toronto he could go, the Greek neighborhood.
Yeah. So like friends of friends, whatever it was. So he ended up meeting my mom. My mom was a server.
Yep.
Dad owned the restaurant.
Yep.
Dad was a cook, server. You know how the story goes.
So your dad started a restaurant or worked in a restaurant?
Worked in a restaurant. He was 16.
16.
Yeah. So he was 16. Worked in my grandfather's restaurant.
Okay. Mom's dad.
Mom's dad. Yeah. So they ended up,
what?
Liking each other.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
Courting.
Yeah. So they ended up falling in love.
Sure.
And because they're so young, my dad was 17, she was 16. They eloped.
Actually,
so they actually eloped
at that age.
At that age. So what?
High school.
Listen, this is crazy. I asked my dad. I go, "How'd you get all her clothes?" And this night, he goes, "Listen." He goes, "This is what I did." He goes, "I told your mom." He goes, "Every week when you take the garbage out, take a bag full of clothes and leave it there by the garbage. And every morning, early in the morning, I'll come with the car and pick up the clothes and put it in the back of the truck."
No way.
Yeah. So once a week, it got all her shit. And
she's got less and less.
Yeah. And
planning their escape.
Planned their escape, and they left. And they went as far west as they possibly could go.
With Vancouver.
Yeah. You hit the water. That's it. We're going to go, right? So they ended up in like Langley.
Forget about the island.
This is crazy, man. It sounds like an unbelievable story, but that's the story.
It is unbelievable.
So my mom was pregnant.
Yeah.
My brother.
Okay.
And they're young, like 17, 18 years old, 16, 17, 18 when they had my brother.
Wow.
Like, that's what happened, right? So
wait a minute. So they elope. They leave.
They left Toronto.
They leave Toronto. They come out here.
Yeah, man.
And what do? They live in a car?
So they rented a place or whatever it was. My dad was a very ambitious man. I mean, he's not the kind of guy that's going to sit there and be like, okay, well, poor me. Like, no, he went out there and he did whatever it took to make his family.
Must be that Spartan. It
has
blood.
To be, man. Like, I mean, okay, you're born and raised in a very small family. Like, you're poor. You don't have a lot of money. Like, and
you don't take anything for granted when you're that.
No, and my dad. Another thing is too, my dad. He never said anything negative about it. He had a simple life. He said, I never met my grandfather. My grandfather passed away when my dad was 16.
Your dad's dad?
Yeah.
Your dad's dad?
My dad's dad, yeah. So I never met him. Right. But from what my dad says, like how much he actually loved his father and how much he respected his father and saying how hard he worked for his family and everybody in town knew him and, you know, it really, really hits home, man. So, you know, my dad he said, we're never hungry, we're never this, we're never that, but my dad really showed us how to work. It was just the times where they were in.
Right.
I mean, Sparta's a very small town, like I said.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to get work. I mean, there's very few things you could do. Right. To make money, and especially when you have 6 kids.
Right.
You know, so, but anyways, they left. They made it to Langley or whatever it was. My brother was born in Langley Hospital, I think it was.
Okay.
And then his twin brother ended up coming to when he was about 20 years old.
Sure.
Because he was a butcher.
So your uncle was still in Greece at the time?
Still in Greece at the time, yeah.
So, okay, then he comes.
So he comes to Canada.
Yep.
Because he got a.
Your dad was the first.
My dad was the first.
Entire family.
Yes.
To come here.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then my uncle came. He was a butcher.
Yep.
So he got his papers to come to immigrate here in Canada because he was a butcher. They needed butchers at the time.
Oh, sweet.
So he's, you know, he had his ticket for a butcher and everything else.
Why Canada? Why not America? Why not Argentina?
Why honestly, Canada? It's because of the people that they knew. Somebody knew somebody from there that knew somebody in Toronto, that area, right?
Okay.
It just so happens as it was.
Yep. And they come to Langley?
Yeah. Dad's in Langley. Dad's in Langley. So my dad was working at a restaurant. So there's a place. Do you remember Club Villa?
No.
Okay.
What is the Club Villa?
Oh, remember Club Villa here in Abbotsford?
I honestly
the place that burned down, rained.
Nope. Oh, yeah. I remember that place. Yeah.
That place should be called Aristo's and Dino's.
Okay.
Aristo's?
Yep.
And then Dino's. My dad was a manager there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so he got a job there, worked for these Greek guys, so on and so forth.
Of course.
You know, it was crazy back then. They had like belly dancing, they'd break in plates or Greek dancing every night, you know, like don't forget they're young too. Like this guy's partied.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So my dad built a reputation, people got to know him, so on and so forth. And then what happened, I think in the early 80s, there's a restaurant called Golfie's. So we're our restaurant, Greek Islands on Langdon.
Yep.
That used to be called Golfie's.
What kind of restaurant?
Like pizza, pasta, schnitzels, ribs, things like that. Okay. All you can eat salad bar.
Okay.
So his Greek brothers had like 5 or 6 locations.
Just trying to put Pizza Hut out of business, eh? Back when
something
Pizza
like that. Yeah, right. So I think that was just like the trend, the style back then, right?
Everyone wanted salads. All you can eat.
Everybody wants something for free, right? So
we all do, man.
And I guess that restaurant wasn't running at the time. So my dad saved up some money with his brother and met the owners of the restaurant and so on and so forth and said, you know, we're going to buy the place. And then they ended up buying the place.
So your dad and his twin brother, the butcher,
they ended
save up money,
bought the restaurant.
Nickel and dime. They're scraping it together.
So I think they worked out some kind of deal. Like I don't know the whole exact story, whatever it was, but you know, they gave my dad and my uncle an opportunity, right?
Sick.
And they said, you know, they fulfilled the expectations and some.
Sure.
So they ended up buying the restaurant, so on and so forth. After that, they sold that restaurant, and my dad opened the New Yorker Steakhouse in Chilliwack in 86.
Okay.
1986.
Yep.
So they opened that restaurant. And then after that, my uncle ended up leaving. His twin brothers went back to Greece.
Yep. Why?
Just wanted to go back home.
Missed it.
Missed
the climate.
Ended up, my dad bought another restaurant called the Olympic Flame, where the Rendezvous in downtown Chilliwack that just closed.
Yep.
That building, that used to be our restaurant.
Okay.
It was called the Olympic Flame.
Okay.
So we sold that to Hercules, the guy that has we sold that restaurant to him.
Okay.
So that was in 91. My uncle ended up coming back from Greece.
Yep.
I partied up with my dad.
Missed the snow.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what it was. So they ended up having that restaurant, sold the New Yorker Steakhouse, kept the Olympic Flame. And then my uncle left again in 93 or 94 back to Greece.
I can't even handle this yo-yo, and you're just telling me this story.
Either can I. Like, honestly, I'm thinking about it right now, and it's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild. So they ended up selling the restaurant. My dad was out of the restaurant business for a couple of years.
What did he do?
So what my dad did, my uncle, this is true. My uncle was, he plays the bouzouki, the Greek instrument.
Okay.
So my uncle...
Not to be confused with a bazooka.
Not a bazooka, the Greek instrument.
Which is a terrorist instrument.
Yeah, exactly. The Greeks are the terrorists.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, so he was a live Greek musician.
Right.
So my dad would go on gigs with him. My dad would sing. My uncle would be playing the bouzouki. They'd have, you know, go all these
And
Greek
the great
nights.
thing about singing in Greek is nobody knows if you can sing or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't understand a word.
Yeah, but they catered to the Greek community, right?
Of course.
So my dad did that for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then he ended up after that we bought Jack's Cafe in Agassiz.
Okay.
Okay. Made that restaurant into Silvano's restaurant in '94.
So you've literally gone through the Fraser Valley and single-handedly developed your competition.
So my dad would build up businesses, his restaurants, and sell them.
Okay.
Right? Build up another one, sell them.
But these, I mean, I recognize these restaurants. It's not like they just shut down.
No.
They were successful for a long time. So
they made a staple. My dad and my uncle, they're very well known in the Lower Mainland.
Right.
Like, they're good guys, man. They're awesome.
And your uncle's probably better well known in Greece as well because he's back and forth so much.
Well, my dad. Well, now no, because like now, like my dad, like I will get to that part.
Okay,
we'll get to that part really quick.
Keep going. So Agassiz.
So we're there for 2 years.
Yeah.
My dad's like, that's it. I'm done in Agassiz here.
Yep.
I'm done. I did what I did. I'm done with it.
Yep.
So we ended up buying our old restaurant, Golfies.
Okay.
On Langdon.
Right.
So it was called the New Amsterdam Restaurant.
Right.
We renovated it, made it the Greek islands.
Okay.
My uncle and my dad opened that restaurant in '96, April '96.
Okay.
So we're going back now. Oh man, April's gonna be 28 years there.
Wow.
Yeah. So my dad ended up buying that restaurant with my uncle.
Dude, you've got employees working for you that are younger than that restaurant is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild.
It's nuts. It's wild. And we'll get to like, there's so much information. Like
I want to hear it, man.
It's insane. So they ended up buying that in '96, and then '97, my uncle and my dad opened up the Greek Islands in Chilliwack.
Right.
There's a courthouse there right now.
I didn't realize that was the second one.
Yep.
Okay.
Second one was in Chilliwack.
Yep.
In '97. So my brother and my cousin ended up running one here in Abbotsford.
Yep.
My uncle and my dad opened the one in Chilliwack. Okay.
So who's your brother? Who's your cousin?
Because there's 4 Yannis, right? So
Correct.
Yanni 1, 2, 3, and 4. We don't even call them Yanni anymore. We just call them number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Why Yanni?
So
like John?
It's John. Yeah. So traditionally, the firstborn male
Yep.
is named after the father's dad, the grandfather.
Okay. That's tradition across all of Greece or just
Greece?
Sparta?
And Greece.
Okay.
So traditionally, my brother is the firstborn.
Think of the money you're saving on monogramming.
Yeah. Right. So my brother's the firstborn
boy.
Got named after my dad's dad.
Born in Langley, what yearish?
76.
76. Born in Langley, that's the first one.
Yep.
The teenage pregnancy.
That's right.
Right. Planned. They were in love.
Who knows planned
whatever.
or not? I don't think it was planned.
Yeah, but they're together.
They
elope.
Yeah.
Son's
They've
born.
been 48 years together now, man. They had their 48-year anniversary, February 24th.
The first of 4
Yep.
Yannis.
Oh, hold on one second.
Okay.
So Yanni number 1 is my brother.
Okay.
Yanni number 2 is my cousin.
Okay.
Yanni number 3 is my other cousin.
Wait.
And Yanni number 4 is my other cousin.
Okay, so which
Not
cousins?
everybody is named. You can't have the same name for the siblings, right?
Right.
So the second born, my sister, is named Stathula, after my dad's mother, my grandmother. Okay.
Okay. So the mom side of the family is really getting shafted so far.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So guess who got the end of the stick?
You.
Niko.
Right.
Yeah. So
is that your mom's dad?
My mom's dad. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So I got named Niko.
Okay. So your mom, she got a name. She got a name on the third kid.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. My mom had to wait for 4.
Yeah.
I'm Merrick, which is Irish.
Yeah.
My brothers and sisters are all Italian names.
So
she had to fight to get it.
Yeah. So like that's traditionally how it is. So number 1, 2, 3, and 4, whatever it is, right?
This is why Greeks have like 6 kids.
Exactly.
Got a name. They got 4 parents. Got to name one after.
Well, you gotta get your boy. They have the family name has to live on.
Right. For sure.
So, but 97 we opened Chilliwack.
So wait a minute. So your father, his twin.
Yep.
Which are his? How many kids does he have?
3.
He has 3.
Yes.
So he has
Yanni.
Yep.
Okay. Effie.
Yep.
Okay. And then the third is Nicoletta.
Okay.
After his my aunt's father.
Got it.
So it makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Mother,
I get it.
You get how it works now?
O's and A's. For Italians, it's O's and A's. Male is O.
Yeah. So no matter what, if a firstborn boy is named after the dad,
right?
The guy's just That's just the way it is, right?
Got it.
That's very traditional.
Okay.
So that's why we all have the same name.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyways, that's.
And so you have other Yannis in the family from older.
So my like I said,
because you said your dad was the youngest.
Yeah, youngest, but there's 6 of them.
Right.
So Yanni number 2.
Yep.
Is the first. It was my uncle Leonidas' son.
Okay.
He was named Yanni after my grandfather.
Are they still in Greece?
Who?
Do you still have family in Greece, or are they all in Canada?
Yeah. So my dad's 2 brothers passed away.
Okay.
One passed away about 10 years ago, maybe longer than that. And the other one passed away about 2 years ago.
Okay.
He still has his sisters out there.
Okay. So he has 2 sisters in Greece.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 sisters in Greece. And then his twin brothers here.
So you have first cousins in Greece?
Yes, lots of them.
Wow.
Hundreds. Something like that. It's crazy, man. It's nuts, man. Like there's like every time I go to Greece, there'll be this is your cousin Dimitri. Yeah. I'm like, man, this is Jimmy. Like, I thought that was Jimmy.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Niko Sahamis is there in Greece? My name and last name?
How many?
5. Wow. 5. 4 or 5, yeah.
So I mean, you're still 1 in a million.
Not there.
Not there though.
Everybody's named Niko.
Yeah.
This is Nick and Niko. Yeah.
So John, Nick.
Yeah, John, Nick.
Are you guys named after saints?
Well, that's the thing too. Is like there's Greek Orthodox Church. There's always there's like a name days, right? Like
a name days.
Yeah, like saint days. So like Saint Nick Day, December 6th or 7th, whatever it is. That's mine, right? And there's Saint Christopher. There's Saint this. So there's a big celebration in Greece.
Interesting.
So anytime there's a name day, it's like Yorti, they call it. Like it's big. You go out and party. You go out and drink and this and that. You have dinner at your parents' house.
And your Greek god wants this.
Yeah, well, it's a Greek Orthodox, man. Christian, it is what it is. I don't know, but it's a celebration. It's huge out there, man.
That's sick, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so your dad starts the restaurant in '96 and '97 in Chilliwack.
My uncle, yep.
And so what happens after that? It's '96.
So '97, my uncle ended up. My dad and my uncle are like, hey, listen, we need to have restaurants for our immediate families because it's going to get very confusing. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like afterwards, it goes, we got to make sure that one has the other. You take your family, I take my family. That way it's not very confusing.
So your dad, your uncle, the twins, they're talking, saying, hey, future planning.
Future planning. Like, listen, we got to make sure that we take care of our immediate family. That way it doesn't get confusing.
Sure.
It could get very confusing. So my uncle took Chilliwack. Okay. My dad kept Abbotsford. Okay. My uncle ended up selling that building to the city, which is now the courthouse there. Okay. So then he built the Greek Islands on Hawking, built it from scratch, from the ground up. Yep. So that's been there since 99, I think it was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, 2003, we opened my place. Right. December 2003, South Fraser Way. So we just had our 20-year anniversary.
Wow, man.
Yeah, man. Fast. 20 years. So I'm 39.
Yep.
Think about this.
Yeah.
More than half my life has been in that restaurant.
Wow. Actually,
that one restaurant.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to probably calculate the hours.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's probably pretty.
It's astronomical.
Close. Yeah,
astronomical.
Probably there longer than you sleep.
Yeah, like the first year opening that restaurant, first 2 years was a grind, like a major grind. Yeah, a lot of learning, man. Like, because you gotta understand that was I born and raised in the booth? Yeah, pretty much. I was at the restaurant all the time, dishes, chopping, cooking, this and that. But when you're running a business, it's a lot different. Right. And I was very young. I just turned 19. Right. And my dad helped me for a few months. And then, Dad, I got this. Yep. Go. He's like, no. Like, my dad's very stubborn. And he's very, very stubborn. He's a very intelligent man. Yeah. But my dad would throw things at you to see if you're capable of that task. Right. Right? Yeah. So my dad would end up coming, like, we were coming to do prep at 10 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. Then, the next day I'm like, well, I'm going to show my dad. Like, the thing is, at 19 years old, I didn't want to disappoint my dad, my uncle, my cousins, and my brother. Like, I really had.
You understood the opportunity in front of you.
I did, but I had something to prove. And they're all older than me. They're all they're 8 to 9 years older than me. So I really look up to them, right? Right. I really looked up to them. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I have an opportunity right now to go in business with my cousins that I really looked up to. So I better not screw this up. Right. Right. Yeah. So I did. I took everything inside of me to make sure this place ran. Right. My dad was there for a few months, like I said. So he would come at 10 o'clock. We'd all come at 10. And then the next day he's there at 9. Oh, I did this stuff already. I'm like, oh, well, Dad, like, we're supposed to do this. Yeah, no, I got it. Don't worry. I'm like, okay. So the next day I come in at 8:30. He comes in at 9. He says, oh, I'm like, oh, it's done already. He's like, oh, whoa. So then he came in at 8 o'clock. So I come at 8:30 and I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm here at 6:30 in the morning, man. I'm like, I'm not messing around. 6:30, I got everything done. Dad comes at 8, 7:30. He's like, what the hell are you doing here, so I'm like, well, I gotta get stuff done, right? So I did that repetitively to show my dad that I meant business, right? That's so stubborn. Like, that's so he's stubborn awesome. Too. He's stubborn. I'm stubborn.
How do you out-stubborn someone who's stubborn?
He's like, I wanted to prove to him. And he's like, you know what? He's like, hey, you got it, kid. Don't worry.
Thank God he stopped, because by the time you guys would have kept going
3 in the morning, we would have been partying all night and go straight back into the kitchen cooking, right?
You would have seen yourself walk in to do the food prep, and you're still there partying from the night before.
Oh man, but like I said, he's dude, that guy is so knowledgeable. Like, my dad is like, he's got a palate too. Like, his food, his taste is like he's an amazing cook.
So where did he get this did he develop that here? Or was this
Yeah,
stuff
he
that
did. He definitely developed that here.
Okay.
Like, you know, this is learning from other people. Like, don't forget, right? Like, everybody, when people say they did things on their own, they did it all by themselves. To an extent, yes, it's true. But there's always someone there that gives you an opportunity.
100%.
So there's someone has to give you an opportunity, or else you don't succeed.
Yeah.
You need some help. Sometime you need some help.
Yeah.
Someone has to help you along the way. It's like you don't wake up in the morning and know your alphabet when you're in kindergarten. You don't.
No.
You know, someone teaches you.
I know, and it's funny because and with kids too, yeah, I have to be patient because they don't know.
No.
Right? And you think, oh, what are you doing? Come on. Yes, you need your code.
Yeah,
it's
man.
cold out. They got to figure it out.
You know, my son, like I just started Taekwondo with him about a year ago.
Yep.
And I did Taekwondo starting since I was 5 till about 25, 28 years old.
And
then
you
I
and
did
Joe Rogan,
kickboxing. Yeah, me and Joe Rogan. It's kind of funny, actually. Because like a lot of the stuff that he says, Joe Rogan would say, is a lot of stuff that I grew up in. Don't forget, like, he's about 54, I think it is.
Yeah.
But like I started Taekwondo in 1989. So like I started very young.
Right.
So that's when it was very, very traditional martial art.
For sure.
Very traditional. So now, of course, things have changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
Martial arts schools are more...
They're watered down.
They're watered down, but the more business aspect. And you know what? I understand it.
They want to bring kids in, and they want to keep
Listen,
them in.
The main thing is you want the kids to enjoy something and like something, not scare them off. I used to go to Taekwondo. There's times it was just me and my cousin Taekwondo.
Right.
Because my master was Korean.
Yeah.
Very strict. You used to yell at 2,000 soldiers in the Korean army. Like that's how he was. That's how he learned.
Yeah.
So he had to adapt as well, coming from a
Totally.
culture.
Yeah.
Culture and traditions are huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes us Canada and the U.S. Like that's what North America is culture, traditions.
Right.
You know, and you have to adapt.
Yeah.
Right. You have to adapt to what it is or what it is now.
Yeah.
And that's what people have been doing. But the point what I wanted to get is my son. You're saying it's very difficult. Like I'm the kind of dad. When I watch my son doing martial arts or soccer, whatever, especially martial arts, and he's sitting there, he's like doing his punch and kick and this and that. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, Georgie. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, pay attention. He's like, he'll growl at me. I'm like, don't growl at me. What are you doing?
That's so funny.
he's so stubborn too.
Yeah.
Whatever he gets it from, I don't know.
Probably his mother.
Has to be his mother.
Yeah, it's probably.
So, so he's just sitting there, man. It's awesome. Like I love it so much. Like literally, man, it makes me almost like break out in tears like watching him. It makes me so proud.
Right.
But that guy, he thinks he knows everything.
Right.
So you know what I did? I joined Taekwondo again 3 weeks ago. Why? Main reason why? Because I want to be able to go and put my gi on, my dobak it's called, and actually go in there, and my son can he can see that I have my 3rd-degree black belt,
right?
And he can be like, okay,
Dad knows what he's talking about.
He does know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So when I go there, I'm not in my uniform, and the instructor's supposed to do something, I'll take my shoes off, I'll go there. He's like, Dad, I know what I'm doing. Leave me alone. Like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
So now I mean business.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So this kid's gonna have to. I have to now earn respect from my son. I do.
Yeah.
I have to earn respect.
It's not given, man. I mean, that's the thing with this. Like, respect is earned. It is the way you live your life. It's how you conduct yourself. It is earned. Respect is not.
Oh man, but like it's the greatest feeling ever, man.
That's
it's
awesome.
To watch your son try to. You know what I want my son especially, and both my kids. But what I really want them to understand is that and anything you do, it's a lifestyle. Like business, the restaurant's a lifestyle.
100%.
Martial arts, it's a lifestyle.
Right.
You have to, and listen, man. I can tell you, I'm not been in martial arts since I was young. Have I followed the code of conduct of martial arts my whole life? No, I haven't. Like I've done a lot of, I'm a human being. I've made mistakes. I've done stupid things.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun, but the roots and the values that I've learned along the way is what I want. The respect, the discipline. I want that helped me a lot in my business.
For sure.
The martial arts aspect and that culture, the traditions, really guided me through my business through the years. Okay.
Interesting.
And mind you, a huge guidance for me was my brother.
Right.
Man, like I said, we opened Greek Islands on South Fraser Way, like, we were partners. My brother put countless and countless and countless of hours and time and patience with me as I grew into that business.
So you said he's 8
years older.
8 years older.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's 8 years older than you. And you were working
I was that
restaurant.
line, as a server, cook.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I went to managing, cooking.
He was working it as well at the time.
Yep.
So you guys only ever worked with your dad.
Yeah.
You've never done anything.
That's myself. Yes.
Okay.
My brother. No. My brother. When my dad sold the restaurant for 1.5, 2 years, he worked at Bozini's in Chilliwack for like 2 years.
Right.
He was a server there. Right.
Yeah.
So, but myself, yeah. I've only worked for my dad and my family. I know that sounds like, it almost sounds like it's, oh, I really know how life is and stuff like that, like life lessons working for somebody else. But like I learned from the School of Hard Knocks, mine was a lot different than than most, right? Like it was, yeah.
So you obviously your brother still there, still Langdon.
Yep.
You're running yours.
Yep.
Who's running Chilliwack?
My other cousin Yanni, Effie, George.
Okay.
And Yanni's wife Danelle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the four
of them, and my uncle is part of the business as well, but he's not doing too much there anymore.
Still, so your dad and him are quasi the same.
Yeah.
Retired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still,
Retired.
Still
going back.
Poke their head in the door every once in a while.
Yeah. They come and yell at you and this and that or whatever. Not being a little bit sarcastic.
You call this tzatziki?
Yeah. No, but they, like, they're our biggest critics, right? Food critics. So like when they come in, it's like, it's sometimes you're like not shaky, but like
you're making sure that everything's tickety.
Don't fuck up.
Right.
It's part of my language,
right.
of vulgar language. We go to the cooks like, listen, this better be, and you taste everything before it goes out.
Yeah.
Look at this. If it doesn't look good, man, that ain't going out.
That's
like
so
it's
funny.
not perfect. It's not going out.
Right.
But you know what? I let the last time my dad came into the restaurant, my uncle, it was my uncle's birthday. My other uncle.
Yep.
Plays the bouzouki.
Yeah.
They came in there like it was Sunday night. They came, my mom, my dad, my aunt and uncle, and then my other uncle is single. He's 65, same age.
Yep.
But he's single. So the five of them came in for dinner. And it was a crazy busy Sunday night. Our Sundays are very busy, by the way, because only Greek Islands that's open on Sundays is my place.
Oh, nice.
So Chilliwack's closed on Sundays. My brother's closed on Sundays. So
you're a guy getting
yeah.
everybody.
So a lot of people from Chilliwack and Abbotsford and Lang, they meet in Abbotsford at Greek Islands. It's just a lot of people.
I love your guys' restaurant, by the way.
Thank
you.
It's
freaking awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
So anyways,
so my dad comes in for dinner, this and that, and I helped. I was cooking. It was a busy night, and you know what? I sat down and I let the guys cook. I just, you know what? I picked the steaks out. My dad wanted a couple steaks.
Sure.
Man, guys did a banging job.
Perfect.
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 I was so proud.
And you were sitting and enjoying.
I was sitting.
That's nice.
And you know what? Like that there, I felt. I would say that's probably one of the highlights of my life in 20 years.
Wow.
Is my uncle and my dad. And my parents said that food was amazing and good job.
Yeah.
It's not very often you get something like that. It's more like, hey, that could have been this or that.
It was really good, but
no, like
this was so good. But
I had a great review.
That's sick.
Sweet.
That's sick.
You know, that makes you proud, right?
And that's a great job for leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got.
I had to because Nick, the guy that cooked there, he's been there for 17 years.
Wow.
My other cook, Tyler's been there for 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So like these guys, I have to be able to give them that trust. They've been there long enough.
100%, man.
Hey, man, they're not perfect.
No,
nobody is. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. You know, as long as you own up to your mistakes and fix the problem.
Yeah.
That's the main thing about anything.
Yeah.
Is about how you take care of your customers if something does mess up. It's not about, it's how you approach it.
Right.
Right. It's one thing to be like, even if they're wrong.
Right.
But they say the customer's always right. But even if they're wrong, the steak's medium rare and it comes back perfect medium rare. And like, hey, I need it cooked a little bit longer. It's a little too rare for me. Okay, no problem. Bring it back to you, look at it. Well, it's perfect medium rare. Let's go get about medium.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, like, well, how was it? Oh, it was still good. I just wish you came out correct the first time. Like, hey, 100%, I completely agree with you. Here's a gift, here, let me take care of that for you tonight. Here's a gift card for next time. Here, have a little shot of who was on the house or whatever it is, right? So, you know, that's what you got to do. And that person leaving happy is more important than that person leaving upset.
I always find, you can win the argument and save your ego and lose a customer.
What for?
What for?
Why sit there? I mean, and again, like, listen, man, I'm not by all means, I'm not perfect. And I'm sure I've said some things sometimes. And sometimes you have some customers that you're never going to be able to please. But guess what, man? It's not a perfect world. And everybody has different palates and everybody has different tastes and everybody has a different restaurant they like. And everybody's been to a different Greek restaurant that they went there for 20 years. That used to be the place you used to go to with mom and dad. So some people are just accustomed to what they're used to.
Sure.
And some people don't like to go off the beaten path.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
As long as you accept that, and that took me a long time, man, to actually build that thick skin, and not just that thick skin, but that understanding that it's okay.
Yeah, it's not a personal attack.
No, it's not a personal attack.
You know, and you never know what somebody's going through, what they're walking through.
You don't. And that's the thing too. Like, don't forget, right? Like, as a owner or a business owner, manager, whatever it is, when you first interact with the customer, it's your opportunity right there to find out who they are, what they are.
Right.
Now, I'm not a mind reader by all means, but I definitely definitely can read people. That's what I've developed through the years.
Yeah.
I believe it's a little bit of a gift.
I think it's a gift to start with, but
it's a gift, but I think that I've kept it sharp, and I've been sharpening it more and more through the years.
100%.
So it's just about customer eye contact, hand gestures, handshakes.
It's actually a sign of intelligence, so you know. So there's many spectrums of intelligence. It's not just book knowledge or retention. That's a sign of intelligence. That's social intelligence, the ability to read people. That's why people on the spectrum don't have that. So it's like it's actually a level of intelligence.
Well, I wouldn't want to give myself that much credit, but I'll tell you this right now, man. Like it is something that you sometimes cannot teach to somebody.
Well, because they don't have it.
You either got it or you don't. I mean, you can teach it, you can develop it a little bit, but it comes really natural.
Think of it as the equivalent of like kinesthetic intelligence, like the ability to do things with your body. Right. Some people are just naturally athletic, or more so. It's the same thing with social intelligence. People just have a better ability to read people.
Yeah. Some people want to come in for dinner and they want to chat.
Yeah.
And some people want to come in for dinner and they don't want to chat. You know, this is true. This is a true story.
That's a valid point.
I have some customers that have been there. They've come in for like a decade. 10 years. Okay.
Like we're talking relatively, like once a week, once every 2 or 3 weeks, once a month.
2 3 weeks, whatever, but 10 years. Hey, how was it? Oh, it was good. Thank you. Very quiet. Very, thank you. Very nice. Very
polite.
Yeah. Nice. They must be happy because they keep on coming in for the last 10 years. But they just seem like the people that they don't really just want to talk. Well, guess what, man?
Don't talk to them.
No. Guess what? They just started opening up and talking about everything.
Oh, really?
10 years later, they got comfortable with me. I was blown away, brother.
That's hilarious.
Literally blown away because it took me that long. Maybe, and I felt, I'm like, maybe I didn't put enough effort in.
Wow.
I was like critiquing myself now. I'm like, hey man, like, how did I not see that?
Right.
How did I think I'm professional.
Yeah.
How did I not see that?
So you're saying that you potentially, not that you did, but you could have potentially assumed that they didn't want to talk. But
exactly.
Maybe, and then you leaned into that subconsciously, but you could have maybe drawn it out in 2 years.
And you know, and again, like I said, not a perfect world. I'm not perfect, but like, man, I was blown away. But nothing, that we're just chatting about everything under the sun now.
That's hilarious.
Like, it's crazy.
That's awesome, man. That's great.
But you know what? That just goes to show you just don't give up. For one. For two, you just don't know what that person's going through in their life, right?
I always hear from business owners, and I was going to ask you about this, like some of the challenges that you guys face on the daily basis now. But I always hear from business, it's so hard to find good people. And I'm like, is that a reflection? Let me finish the question. Is that a reflection on that person as a leader, or are they looking, expecting in the wrong place? Yeah.
I'll give you an example of something. So I'll hit you on this one here.
Okay.
I needed to cook. I had to interview 10 people. 10 interviews.
Yep.
How many showed up?
7.
0.
What?
0.
What?
10 interviews. Looking for a job, want to be a cook, worked here. None.
Of 10?
Of 10, 0.
How's it even possible?
A 0% rate? Yeah, that's horrible.
That's like, it's almost not, I mean, it's measurable.
But you know what, though? Then all of a sudden you have one person that walks through the door and you get a good vibe, like, boom. Hey, come inside. And that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
You know what? Have you ever felt like this? Okay. This is so messed up, man. Like you could be a believer in God, you could be a believer in the universe, you could be a believer, whatever it is. And you know, I respect everybody's religion and thoughts, and
not everyone's.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, respect the respect.
Sure.
You know, it is what it is. So
you respect me, I'll respect you.
Yeah. Like, and I was I'm looking, I'm like, man, like, I needed a dishwasher. I know this might sound like it was just a dishwasher. No.
Sure.
To find a good dishwasher,
I bet
is important.
Yeah.
For one,
I used to wash dishes in the kitchen.
It keeps the flow of the restaurant going.
You can't, 100%.
You need a weld-oil machine in the business. So if you don't have the plates, the cook can put the food on the plates. If you don't have the glasses, the customer will get their water glasses or their drinks on time. And the last thing you want is when the dishes are coming out and they're hot.
Yeah, and then
you have warm glasses.
Yeah, and then the whole water's hot and it's just not good.
And I had my dishwasher quit. This one, I don't know, left or whatever it was. This is years ago. I'm like, I go to myself, I look up, I go, God, I really need a dishwasher. And all of a sudden, like that, I'm like, the heck? I look in the back. Like, I'm in my kitchen and there's a back door for employees only.
Yeah, to go smoke.
Like this. Do you know the back hallway?
Yeah.
So there's one entrance there. The entrance go back in the back door, but there's another entrance going to the kitchen. So it's employees only.
Okay.
You hear that knock, 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 right? I look, open the door. My old dishwasher. He goes, hey, Niko, I need a job. Swear to you. I swear on my life. I look, God, I need a dishwasher. 2 seconds later.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you, man. Like, I'm talking within seconds.
Yeah.
Knock, knock, knock. I look, I'm like, oh my goodness, ask and you shall receive, brother.
I know I said dishwasher.
I know.
I meant 10 mil. Did I say dishwasher, Lord?
Can we just go back and just switch this up, just tweak it a little bit, please?
$10 million. That's so funny, dude.
Oh man, it
That's
happened.
wild.
But like, it's just like things sometimes, man. And I don't know what it is, but sometimes I'll be like, I haven't seen this person in ages.
I'll say this to you though, you probably were decent enough to him where where she was willing to come back.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean,
back to that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like as people take that for granted, they just treat people not the way they would want to be treated, and they go, "Oh, I can't find good people." It's like, yeah, dude.
But guess what?
Sure.
The people that you have that are good,
yeah,
you always want to be able to take care of your staff. Like, I've got a waitress that works for me for 19 years.
Wow.
19.
Wow.
Okay. Both her kids are 19 and 20. They both work at my restaurant.
Wow.
Hold on. I've got another waitress working for 19 years. I call her whenever I need her. She comes into work.
Sure.
But both her daughters work for me.
Wow.
She's been there 19 years.
Wow.
So,
man, that's a great track record.
Right? That's not bad.
That's great.
Right? So, like, it's obviously you're. And I'm not saying it's just me, man. It's like the whole team together. Yeah. It's about the energy. So this is a very most important thing too. And sometimes I need to, like, this is actually good talking about this because it's a good refresher for myself as well.
Well, you have to articulate the thought. So you
absolutely.
you know it.
Yeah.
But now you have to process.
So
it
now
the
most important part is the start of the evening. So I always tell the cooks, I'm like, hey guys, we're gonna have a busy night. We got to get the food out quick. The first bills we get out, quicker, the early bird specials.
Sure.
You know, the elderly come in, they want a quick dinner and leave. Those, we got to rotate those quick because we have a busy night coming up. So how you start off your evenings is very important.
Right.
Also, the energy you create, okay? The chemistry that you have with your staff, the energy you create with them. If people come in like, oh, I'm just not having a good day today. And I was like, yeah, like this, your night's not going to go very good, buddy. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
The energy that my job is, I have to orchestrate this evening.
Right.
So literally I'm the conductor.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that the kitchen, the dishwashers, the cooks, right? The bussers, the host, the bartender, and the servers are all dialed in.
Yeah.
Right? And I think honestly, I think sometimes I can do a better job at that, creating that energy. And this is a great thing, is a good reminder.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the evening is a lot of times that people are like, you know, and it's not a perfect world again.
Yeah.
But how you orchestrate that evening in the beginning, how
do you guys do you do a powwow? What do you do?
No, man, it's just about the energy. You go, hey guys, how are you doing? Girls, how are you? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Have the conversation, small talk with them.
You're setting the tone.
Yeah, setting the tone. Hey guys, we got a busy night. You guys, girls ready? Like, yeah, we're ready, boss. Are you gonna make some money tonight? Yeah, we're gonna make some money. You know, let's take care of everybody, blah, blah.
Yep.
You know, like a pep talk. And honestly, I haven't done a pep talk like that in a while. But like, it's about the action that you create, but like the kitchen,
your intentions. You're going in with the positive intentions.
Yeah.
Positive expectations.
And you know, and I don't think that a lot of times we don't do this enough too. Sometimes it's like you give. When someone makes a mistake, you tell them, like, hey, listen, like that can't happen again, so on and so forth. But we don't give enough credit to people too sometimes.
Right.
So like,
we're very quick to criticize and very long to take.
Yes.
Hey,
so like, it's
job.
important too to make sure the staff know, hey guys, you guys did a good job today. Like, wow, we killed it tonight. Yeah. Everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
You know,
and
that's
point out specifics if you can. So I've always found like, hey, you did this and you got that right away, and you swung around and you made that happen. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. And they go, oh my God, he noticed.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
and
being specific is important.
But like all in all, like I think I have a pretty good staff. Like between the two restaurants, like we have great staff.
Both in Abbotsford
and Chilliwack too. Like
for sure. And I mean, I've gone to all the restaurants, and I've always had a consistent meal. It's always been good. It's always been exactly what I wanted. And the service has always been great.
Hey man, like it's about consistency for one, you know. But there's always room for improvement.
That's hard to replicate, eh?
It's not that it's hard to replicate. I mean, listen, anything can be replicated
for sure
if you have enough money.
Fair enough.
Really?
Yeah.
If you have a bunch of money that you're willing to blow and train and so on and so forth, it doesn't matter. It can be replicated, yes. But finding that person that's in the same page as you is hard. Having somebody that has the same values and same outlook as you is difficult.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask earlier, but so what are some of the challenges you're facing now as a business? You guys are established. You're no longer worried about closing the doors within the first 2 years of opening a restaurant, which is probably standard for restaurants.
Listen, man, the most important thing is to make sure that your staff is happy, that your customers are happy,
and not taken for granted.
No. You know, you want to keep the good people you want to keep.
Sure.
It is what it is, right? And you know what? There's some that are like sour apples, and they're almost like cancer.
They'll weed themselves out.
Yeah, they weed themselves out, right? Yeah. And that's no disrespect to anybody or nothing like that. It's just, it is what it is. That's life.
You got to protect your culture.
You got to protect the culture. You got to protect it. Don't forget, right? So between this, like just our 2 restaurants in Abbotsford, we have like what, 60 employees?
Wow.
50. So my place has 26. The other one has like 30 something.
Yeah.
Right. So if you think about that, we're literally, if we don't do our job right, there's a couple hundred people that depend on us.
Yeah, man.
That put food on the table.
I know, that's wild because you think about it as a business owner. Yeah, it's these people's bills rely on you.
On me. If I don't do my job and those customers don't come through the door, I'm in trouble, and
that's
so
right.
are they.
So are they. Yeah.
So and that's not what I want. What I want is the people to be like, I'm going to come to work and I'm going to make some money. I'm going to make sure we provide for my family. And we're always going to be there for them, man. Like the tough part, and that people don't teach you in business and having a family-owned restaurant or your own business as it is.
Yep.
Is the amount of mental stress that some people come in with their mental health or whatever it is. Not that you're a babysitter by all means, but you're definitely sometimes almost like a psychiatrist or a therapist for them.
Yeah, man. They're
counselor.
Coming,
They're coming to you because they trust you.
Yeah.
Right. And by all means, man, I want them to be able to come to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I do.
Well, I mean, that's going to show you the level of connection and relationship that you have.
Yeah, like, and that's important. I want my staff. They're like my family, man. Like it's. I want them to be able to come to me, be able to talk to me. But of course, sometimes it can be overbearing. It can be overwhelming a little bit, right? Because don't forget, you have your own family at home and kids and wife and dogs and this and that and so on and so forth. And your rabbit downstairs that you feed, which I know my wife does.
Oddly specific.
Being honest.
You know what's good about rabbits? If you find children that have loved and pet rabbits, the meat just melts off.
No, man, don't say that. Don't. Please cut that out. Cut that out. That's gonna be
delicious. Anyways, so I mean, if knowing now what you know now, you looking back at 19-year-old you, what would you talk to yourself about at 19? You're young. You want to prove yourself. You feel like you're coming to the big boy table. You've earned your spot. You want to make sure that you've earned your spot. What are you telling yourself?
Don't stop. Keep on doing what you're doing. Like, honestly, I would say the same thing. I don't think I would do much different. I would say, I mean, of course, I did drink quite a bit when I was younger. Yeah. But how many 19-year-olds?
Guilty.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
it's delicious.
Yeah, like it is.
Don't try that, kids.
No, it's good. Yeah. What would I say to myself, my 19-year-old self? I don't really know, man. Like, I don't really.
What would you say somebody start? How about this? Make it easier for you. What would you say somebody's starting a restaurant right now? Somebody who loves food. They're listening to you. They've seen your restaurant. They've seen your success. They don't see the hard work. They think about.
There's like I said this to you before. There's different, like when you're a cook and a manager. Like you could be a GM of a big company, of like a restaurant. I'd be the general manager. Okay? No problem. You can also be a chef at a restaurant. Okay, no problem. But are you a chef and a GM? Have you been together as one? Right. That's what you really need to. For one, you need to know the whole insides and out of the restaurant. You need to know all the nuances. What I mean, the inside and outs, I mean the fucking inside and outs. Yeah. Food cost. Yep. Know how to cook your food. What happens? Okay, what happens on a Friday night? You're the GM. Okay, guys, got a busy night. And your chef's like, hey, man, I'm not coming in today. I'm not feeling good. Yeah. Oh. What do you do? You're going to shut the doors? Yeah, I'm going to put the... Are you going to say, sorry, we're closed? What about my reservation? This is blah, blah, blah. No, you better know what you're going to do. You're going to put your apron on and you get back there and you cook the damn food. Right. And you're going to cook it good. Yeah, and you better be as good or better than... You be better than them. That's right. Right? Yeah. That's my recommendation. Is that you better know the ins and outs. And as a GM, and your cook says something to you and you can say, no, it's this way and I'll show you, and you show him. Absolutely. What is your cook going to do? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oops. Yep. And go eat my go eat and sometimes, even sometimes too, like these guys, like they're proud. Like they're proud. Like sometimes they're like, oh, well, boss, like they'll tell me too. I'm like, guys, listen. You know who you're talking to? But sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you might learn something from the student. 100%. And you can. Yeah. But there's certain things that I know. Yeah. There's a great quote that I love. It says, every man is my better in some way. Of that I learn of him. It's George Bernard Shaw. So you can learn something from everyone. Absolutely. And if you walk through life with an open mind, like, what can I learn from this person? The day that I stop learning is the day that I die. 100%. Like every day I learn something. I swear to you, you might live for 20 years after that point, but you're already dead. Yeah, man. You just don't know it yet. Yeah. If you're not learning and growing, I legit every day I say this to everybody. I go, every day at the restaurant I learn something new. 100%. I still learn things at my own place. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That just shows you that there's
Oh, you can clean behind that?
No, I didn't know how to. You know, there's so many different things that you can learn. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
You know, and one thing that I see right now, the first time in 20 years I've seen this, and I don't even say this publicly, but there's the first time in 20 years I've seen wholesalers come and not beg for business, but fight for business.
Wow.
And so right now for me, it's been fabulous.
Wow.
So pricing, there's a lot of people out there trying to get my business.
That's great for you.
It's awesome.
But that's an indicator of what's going on in the economy.
That it is absolutely an indicator of what's going on in the economy. So, you know, thankfully,
right.
I think we can make adjustments. So
sure.
Hey, let's say if something catastrophic happened again, like COVID or whatever, we pivoted.
I'm going to ask you about that. So
yeah, we pivoted through that, man.
Yeah.
And that's if something happens like that again.
What a wild time that was. I was actually going to ask you. It's one of my questions I wanted to ask you about. It was the whole COVID fiasco. Now, obviously, we're online right now, so I won't get too much into the weeds of your personal opinion if you don't want to. But
I'll tell you lots, man.
Sure.
Like I have nothing to hide about it. No, like what happened was sad.
I think it was draconian, the overreach of the government, what they said people could do and couldn't do. It was crazy.
So in the beginning, listen, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to publicly say this, and I don't care at all. I think in the beginning, we had to lock down.
100%.
And we had to figure out what the heck was going on.
We didn't know what was going on. It's easy in hindsight to say, oh, well, it was nothing. It turned out to be nothing.
Yeah.
What if it didn't?
Yeah, exactly.
And we didn't shut down.
Exactly.
And then it's...
So I think, honestly, man, I truly believe that they did the right thing.
Initially.
Yes. But I did talk to, like last night I had a friend of mine came by for dinner.
Yeah.
His date is a nurse in Surrey.
Yep.
And she said to me, she said the same thing to me. She's like, we needed to, because Niko, like the beds, the thing is we were choosing who's going to live and who's not going to live. Because there's 90-year-old people that are sitting there on ventilators.
Sure.
Hey, we're going to do what we can, but like we got this 35, 40-year-old kid right now that needs this as well.
Right.
So like the beds were so full. What does that mean? Is that our system is a little bit broken.
Our system is very broken.
Yeah, it is very broken. My wife works in the hospital as well as a unit clerk. Yeah, she was in the COVID unit.
A friend of mine actually, he's a doctor. I'm having him on as well, and we're talking exactly about our system because there's major issues in it. We don't need to go down this rabbit hole.
No.
But it's there's major issues in not working right. We're paying a lot of money to our system. I think we're 10th in spending in the world for our system, and we're like 137th for beds. Yeah, like we're below like third world countries for beds per.
And don't forget, we're getting like about 1 million immigrants a year.
Yeah, it's
like listen. What made Canada?
We're immigrants.
I'm an immigrant.
We're immigrants. We're the son. I'm a son of an immigrant.
I think it's the greatest thing in the world is to be able to give someone opportunity.
Yeah.
The American dream, the Canadian dream. Really, that's what it is.
It's the Western world for
absolutely. Absolutely. But listen, man, if you don't fix this problem with the hospitals and the housing and everything else, we are in a heap of shit.
Yeah, man.
We're already in a heap of shit.
So what's happened, unfortunately, in our system is we have politicians making decisions for the next 4 years.
Yep.
Instead of 30-year, 40, 60, 80-year decisions. Yep. So why that matters is because it costs money to build a big hospital.
Yes.
And they don't want to say yes on their dollar because then their budget gets screwed up. So they kick it down the road another 4 years.
Of course they do.
And so that's the problem. It's not only on hospitals, but it's on housing. It's on everything. If they start mass producing housing, guess what happens to all the baby boomers with all their equity? It's gone because the value goes down because there's more supply.
Exactly.
Right? So they can't build more houses because the baby boomers are voting them into power.
Yep.
So they don't want to lose the vote with the baby boomers. So they're really kind of the politics.
It's a total game of chess.
100%.
Politics is a total game of chess. Listen,
this is why politicians get elected and then they don't do anything when they get in because they go, oh, you can't do that because the unions won't allow you to do that. Oh, you can't do that.
They're a lot of times they're handcuffed.
100%.
But
totally handcuffed.
But are they? Are they?
They choose.
Look at Alberta.
Yeah, they choose to be handcuffed.
Look at Alberta.
Yeah.
Doing
pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you know that our province is now poorer than the state of Kentucky?
I saw that yesterday. Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
That's not poor, but more of a consumer debt poor.
Poor. We're poorer. Yeah. We are poorer by the definition of the word poorer than the state of Kentucky. Yeah. And we are in a beautiful
the third most expensive place in the world is Vancouver.
Right.
Third.
Wow. And it's and we've got tons of resources. We've got natural gas.
Oh man,
lumber,
don't even.
We've got everything.
Dude, we've got gold. So much gas.
Yeah.
So much oil.
I know it's wild.
We've got so much wood. So many trees. so much coal, so much mining, so much this. Of course, coal is, you know, bad for the environment. I understand that. I'm saying we have a lot of natural resources. It gets unbelievable. Our hydro dams are so beautiful and strong. We power the whole West Coast, the whole United States.
Clean energy, baby.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? I didn't even know it wasn't called hydro in different places. How embarrassing. I was like, oh yeah, I just paid my hydro bill. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was talking to my buddies, what are you talking about? Like, my power bill. He's like, why don't you call it a power bill? It's like, well, it's hydroelectric. He's like, well, that's not everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. It's not everywhere.
we just
it's because of our dams.
Yeah.
So did you know we're in a little bit of trouble right now with the dams right now because the droughts that we've been having?
Yeah, I've heard that too, and I've heard that they've not, the government has not been investing properly in the dams maintenance and upgrades.
I also heard this, and this could be baloney, but I also heard too is because the water is so low that a lot of the bears have actually made caves hibernating in there, so they don't want to flood it. Get
out of there, Yogi.
Yeah, Yogi.
Hey, boo-boo.
Yeah, boo-boo.
Hey, boo-boo.
Aren't these rangers supposed to be up a little bit higher?
Yeah. You gotta lure them out with some picnic baskets. If I've learned anything from our cartoons, I know that we could get them out of there with picnic baskets.
Yeah. But with COVID, man, going back to that.
Yeah.
I had to shut my restaurant down for 6 months.
Yeah, brutal.
I had to lay off 90% of my staff.
Brutal.
Like, you know how hard that was?
Yeah.
To like say, sorry guys. Like
after everything that you've done and built, the relationships that you have over 19 years.
But boom. You know what? The staff, like the government, they are like, hey, the government's gonna give me $2,000 a month. Okay, whatever.
Sure.
That's not a lot of money, but
yeah,
you know, for some people, it's
kept the lights on.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? Thank goodness it did something.
Yeah.
But we closed my place down for 6 months. We opened my other restaurant open 7 days a week. The one in Langdon.
Right. Yep.
Man, like the first day I was takeout. The first night was a Thursday night. So we go. It was me and my cousin. No dishwasher on. Well, there's no plates.
How could you possibly know what you need to do?
But there's no plates, right?
Right, of course.
No
cups,
no cups, no plates, no cutlery, no this, no that. Okay, whatever. I take a bucket. I literally took a bucket, put it right next to the. I'm like, this is gonna be horrible. Like, this is gonna be so boring. And order. I'm like, huh? We got a good steady rush. I'm like, man, this is pretty good. And boom, we got busy. I'm like, me and my cousin like running. Like, holy shit. And then, we didn't have a dishwasher on. Guess who's got to wash the fucking pans?
It's you, baby.
Yeah, so we're there.
CEO and dishwasher.
Dishwasher, mopping the floor,
cleaning the toilets.
You bet, man, everything.
Yeah. Hopefully not at the same time.
So the next, hopefully not, yeah. So the next day,
I wash my hands more often, but I'm so busy.
The next day we were like, we're getting a dishwasher. So we got a dishwasher in. And it was a Friday night.
Yeah.
It was just me and my cousin.
Yeah.
So we had to improvise of like, how much prep to do. We don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know. So we had 3 girls out front to take the phone and pack the food and stuff like my brother. But dude, it was bumping.
That's sick.
It was crazy.
That's sick.
Guess what? You couldn't do anything. Do you know what the quality of life was and how cool it was? The only thing you could do that was fun was to get in your car and drive, pick up takeout.
Right.
For like,
there's nothing else. There was nothing else.
If you were the man of the house, okay, you jump in your car like, hey babe, go down to the local restaurant there to get some takeout.
Yeah. I'll take care of dinner tonight.
Wish me luck.
Yeah. I love saying that to my wife. I'll take care of dinner tonight. Hey, Niko.
Yeah. Make that 3 slices. You forgot my tzatziki last time, Niko. I'd like a bigger cup of tzatziki, please.
I'll pay extra, buddy. I'll pay extra for it. Yeah. But I want to dip my whole fist into that shit. It was so good.
It was so crazy. Then it was like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, what happens to these? Like food, getting food, right? So I brought all my stuff from my one restaurant. We transferred all over to the other one.
Sure.
So freezer, cooler, everything.
So you're packed.
Yeah, we got food.
Because it happened. The shutdown was pretty overnight.
You guys are business as usual. It was a week. Yeah. A week was like 2 weeks, a week and a half, and people were like walking in masks and stuff like that on the TV. It was like the whole global freak out, right? China, Do you remember?
I remember. I remember people laying on the streets
and they're like this. They look like zombies or something like that. Yeah. So, anyways. That 1 week up to it, before the lockdown, I had a doctor and a nurse come in for dinner. And they're like, you ain't going to be open here much longer. But I'm like, what do you mean? Like, they're shutting everything down. He's like, I'm like, really? He's like, yep. He's like, we just got word. He's like, check. Wow. He's like, dude, like, they're going to lock everything down. I'm like, oh, man. So I told my brother, I was like, no, it's not going to happen. I'm like, dude, they're serious. Yeah, so I locked out.
Why would he tell you that they're going to?
So make a long story short, I thought to myself, I'm like, what happens if the pork plants shut down, the chicken plants shut down, the beef plants shut down because of COVID?
Right.
How do you get a product?
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? I called my dad. I'm like, and my brother. I'm like, I think, you know what, guys? I go, I think we need to buy
a huge
amount of everything.
Yeah.
They're like, everything? I'm like, everything. Like all the meat. Like
everything.
Chicken.
Yep.
Steaks.
Yep.
Ribs. Lamb. Yeah, buddy. Lamb legs, lamb, rack lamb, calamari, prawns, like everything.
And you did.
And I did. And guess what happened?
Everything got shut down.
Everything got shut down, and everything went up. Like steaks were like $11.99 a kilo for sirloin at that time.
Sure.
$12.99 a kilo.
Sure.
It went up to $26 a kilo.
Jesus Christ.
Everything across the board went up. Everything. I was like, holy, like how, dude, I'm telling you right now,
Niko,
it was like
you're
the
so smart.
Yeah, I was
so
like,
smart.
I had my cape on, like
you glided in. You weren't even walking. You just glided.
No, I literally felt. I was like,
yeah,
that's right. I called it.
I'm not cooking anything tonight.
And
you guys
like,
do it.
And when they said that pork plant in Chilliwack shut down, like the next day, I was like, holy, wow.
Interesting.
I'm like, wow, weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I thought about it. Like, there's something really you had to think about.
So when you say you ordered everything, did you get like a month of stuff? 2 months, 3 months?
Oh, more than that.
6 months?
Probably like 2 months worth of food.
You just boom.
Yeah. So don't forget, my other freezer was empty.
Right.
So I
stocked it up.
I aged all my beef.
Yep.
Froze it.
Nice.
Tempered it out.
Yep.
The lamb's frozen anyways. Calamari's frozen. The prawns are frozen. That stuff. Chicken I always like buy fresh, but at that time I bought fresh and froze it.
Yeah.
I had to. I had no choice. Right.
Yeah.
So
I didn't notice the difference, and I had it a bunch
no,
of times.
like I said. I mean, it was a calculated gamble.
Sure.
And it worked out.
Yeah, you gotta like the ones that work out because those ones you tell the stories.
But yeah, oh man, like it could have went the other way.
For sure.
Right? It could have went the other way. It could have been busy, but it was crazy busy.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man.
I will say this though too, like you guys have built such a great reputation for taking care of clients for the last 30 years that I wanted to go and support you guys because I thought you were hurting. And I'm like, I literally said to my wife, I was like, Sydney, we need to go and order food from these guys because they're hurting.
But Merrick, in a way, we kind of were. Like, because like I shut my restaurant down for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like that, I had payroll to pay.
Yeah.
I had my staff had to pay.
Sure.
And don't forget, it was like 2 weeks of like super slow before the close up.
Absolutely.
So we were making no money.
Yeah.
You have rent to pay. You have hydro to pay, your gas to pay.
Yep.
You have all the inventory you had to pay. It was like 70, 60, 70, 80 grand.
Wow.
Where to pay back?
Yeah.
It's not like not chump change in a business. Like you got to pay that money back.
That's nothing I'd shake a stick at. I can promise you that.
Like literally, man, me, my brother, my cousin worked like 70 days straight.
Wow.
Something like that. Something dumb.
Wow.
But we went back to the basics, bro. We were there like doing all the prep, cleaning.
Yep.
We'd clean all the ovens.
Yep.
Do the pull, take the garbage out, everything, just to save $1.
Wow.
We did it, man.
Yeah, you had to.
Like we had to.
Yeah.
But you know what? Then we got to a point where we got so busy, we hired most like 90% of our staff back.
That's awesome, dude.
It was wicked.
That's awesome.
Right? And then we wanted to open my restaurant back up. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I don't know. Like with these restrictions. Remember where they said like, okay, you can open up inside half, and then they shut it down. That was like back and forth.
You got to have the glass up. Everyone's got to check in with the app.
Yeah. Speaking of which, man, we spent like over 20 grand on glass, plexiglass too. That's another thing we had to spend money on.
Right. Yeah.
But you know what? It was a blessing in disguise, to be honest. It looks so much better in there. The sound quality is better. The sound stays into the conversation into the booth. So it was a blessing in disguise, whatever. But the front up cost was expensive.
For sure. After losing money in the weeks before.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I didn't want to open up my restaurant. Me, my brother, my dad, and my cousin, we all made a decision like, hey, what are we going to do? And by the way, when we make this, we make it all together, right? Yeah. It's we talked to my dad, we talked to my brother, we make decisions together on these things, right? So, when they said they were opening schools up in September, like perfect. Yeah. We opened our restaurant up in September. Crazy.
Right.
Like nuts. Crazy busy. Yep. People wanted to get out of the house, man.
Dude, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
There is nothing to do.
Yeah, nothing to do.
The cool thing was to go pick up takeout or go to dine in
and do drugs.
And do drugs, I guess.
Prescription drugs. I'm talking about prescription stuff.
Yeah. Well, like there's a lot. Oh man, and booze. Like I was talking.
Dude, I can't imagine how much booze was consumed over
My
COVID.
friend told me.
Yeah.
That
print money,
their liquor stores were like up by 20-30%.
You know what's funny,
during
man?
COVID?
Yeah, anytime there is a hardship in the economy, like something that's really, really tough on the economy as a whole, invest in canned goods.
Yep.
Like if you're going to invest in canned goods and liquor. Those are the two things you invest in.
Goods and liquor.
Because that's what everyone does. They're not going to. They got nothing else to do. They got money for nothing, but they'll find money to buy a bottle of booze and go home.
Yes, of course. Well, what are you going to do? You can't leave your house.
I know. That's the tip to the wise there.
Yeah.
Investing with Merrick 101. You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Write that down.
Yeah, exactly. Just jot that down there.
So you guys got through COVID. You guys were hustling.
Grinding.
Opened up in September.
Yeah.
And you were back to business as usual?
Yeah, back as usual, but it was like there's that lull up and down.
Sure.
They closed in, you know, like closing the dine-in back
I
to
can't imagine how
the
many ups and
outdoor,
downs.
indoor
Yeah.
seating.
Yeah, oh my God.
And the
oh my God.
like tents.
It's ridiculous. Man. I can't imagine the ups and downs you guys have seen in the last 20, 30 years of your business. Just like you guys have probably seen it all.
You know what, man? Like straight up, like the last 20 years, like we've been doing pretty good. Like but don't forget, I always say this to people. They're like, how'd you do? I'm like, well, we're there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, like, I know how much you work because I'll try to go riding with you or something like that. You're always busy. You're always working. You get no time for nothing.
Yeah.
And when you do, you want to spend it with your kids, and I don't blame you.
Honestly,
I don't blame you. Yeah.
I don't really do much. I love spending time with my family.
Yeah. Right? Is it healthy though? Are you healthy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like honestly, I've been able to take a little more time to myself.
You only get one turn around the sun, dude. You only get one turn around the sun. Your kids
you
are
do,
little
and
once.
I don't like I said to you before. Like it's I have some good staff there and stuff like that right now. They've been there for a long time. My dad said to me, he's like, he specifically said this. He's like, be there when you need to be there.
Right.
Be there when it's important to be there.
Yeah.
Be there, like, you know, if it's died down at 9 o'clock, if you get to go home and you can leave and someone can lock up for you, leave.
Yeah.
He's like, you go in the afternoon, all your stuff is done, and there's a lull. Leave.
Yeah.
Be there when it's important to be there.
Yeah.
And I took that, and I was like, you know, he's right, you know, like, and I do have to work on that a little bit more sometimes.
100%, dude.
Right, I do.
You can't
get stuck sometimes.
You can't give from an empty bucket.
Yeah, you get stuck sometimes with your habits. We're creatures of habit, right? So I'm so used to doing 20 years of being there all day long. Like, well, you know, I don't have to be there all day long anymore.
Right.
You know, I can leave.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you've got a cook that's been there for 19 years, cook that's been there for 17 years.
Yeah, and 7, and Carrie's been there for 19 years.
So, I mean, you've got people
and, you know,
you can rely on.
They're such good people, man. Like, I honestly love them very much.
Yeah.
You know, they're good. They're great staff. But don't forget, like, when and you never know. Like, someone could just leave the next day. And that's the thing, too. Like, never get too comfortable. Mm-hmm. Once you get too comfortable, that could be that's
when changes are on the horizon.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, buddy. I got one more question for you. What does the future hold for your restaurant? What are you guys doing? What are your plans?
We are planning to open up a patio at my brother's restaurant, Langdon.
Yep.
We're going to build a 45 seat patio.
Nice.
So that is going to go right in the front of the restaurant.
Okay.
It's an all season patio.
Nice.
So we're going to do that.
Obviously covered because we're in BC.
Yeah, obviously covered because we're in BC. Absolutely.
Heaters.
Yeah, heat pumps and stuff like that. It'll be nice. You know, heated floors, things like that.
Yep. Heated floors.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have to, man. Well, think about it in the wintertime.
That's smart.
And we get to use it.
Yeah.
Oh, have it warm inside, right?
So you're gonna have actual tiled, heated, whatever.
Sir. Yeah.
That's sick. When's that happening?
We got a lot of permits. We got everything approved, so on and so forth. My brother knows a lot more about it than I do because he's the one working on it.
Sure.
We were hoping for this summer. I don't think it's gonna be this summer, but for sure next year.
For sure.
For sure next summer. 100%. So we're really looking forward to that.
I mean, really, you could launch it in September, and it wouldn't matter.
Oh, you could do whatever. It's an old season, right? It doesn't matter. So, but realistically, you want to have that like grand boom boom in the summertime, like patio. Okay, here we are. That's what we really want, right?
Right.
So,
what about your spot? Same. Yep.
My spots, you know, like the parking sucks there. Everybody knows that. It's horrible. But it is what it is. Luckily, we have good neighbors. They use the park in the daytime. We use theirs at night. But all in all, man, it's just plugging away, man. Just keep on fixing things here and there, like, you know, like inside renovating, things like that.
Yeah, but that's maintenance and stuff, right?
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. You know, we do. I do cater. I cater a lot of weddings too.
I know you do. I was going to ask you about that. Catering, and you do meal prep as well.
Meal prep on Mondays.
Where are you finding the time?
Don't ask.
Where are you finding the time,
buddy? I like keeping myself busy. What can I say?
You're my brother's butcher now, apparently.
Hey, man. You know what?
Oh, God.
I told them there's people on the pedestal that have like their high on the pedestal. I just love your brother.
Yeah.
He's on. I love your family.
Yeah.
You guys are great, man.
Oh, go on. I'll take five more.
No, honestly, all you guys are all really good people, man.
What were they?
Very, very solid.
I think we're very similar.
I love your brotherly love that you guys have.
Yeah.
You guys have that. I have that with my brother.
And probably with your cousin as well.
Yeah,
you guys probably all grew up like one family kind of thing. Right? So, yeah, it's and it's the old world too. Like we have the connection to the old world as you guys do as well. So I've always felt closer to you guys than I probably should have.
I don't know how that sounds, but
similarity, like such a similarity.
Absolutely,
there.
man.
You know what I mean?
It's that unity, right? That unity that you have with your family. It's like
I would say similar cultures too.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, my family's Italian, yours, Greek, whatever.
Yeah, we taught you guys everything.
We stole everything technically. And it's like, oh, those are your gods? Yeah, those are our gods too. Yeah. Jupiter, that's Zeus. We like it. Yeah, we're gonna keep it.
Oh man, hey man, like it's awesome, man. Like it's I'm just glad we got to chat a little bit. It was fun.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah.
You had a question for me?
Yes, Bitcoin.
Okay.
What do you think about Bitcoin?
What are we at for time? 1:11. I'm gonna finish this question. We're over the limit, but that's okay. So this is my thought on Bitcoin. Okay, so who do you think controls the world banking systems? I'm going to start with the question. Who do you think controls the world banking systems?
I don't know.
Okay, so if it's a private entity that controls all of the banks, let's assume that this bank's the bank that controls the Bank of England, Bank of Canada, the American Fed. The American Fed is a privately held entity. Okay, so there's people that own it. Okay, people that control it. And I know it works in part with the government, et cetera.
Absolutely,
et cetera. But people own it, right? So people came up with a system. So if you believe that there's a banking elite or a banking cartel that control these banks, then you would know that these people would also control politicians.
Yes,
because politicians are in
so
their pocket.
yeah, I'm on board.
We're on board with where I'm going. Okay, so if that is the case, and I'm not saying it is, but I would suspect that it is from what I've seen so far. But I could be swayed with new evidence and good evidence. I'm not on a mountain here that I'll die on. My suspicion is that they don't care about Bitcoin yet because Bitcoin is so small in value and size compared to their system.
Yes.
Now, Bitcoin is made to go against the fiat currency system. The idea of Bitcoin is that there's so much, it is a holder of wealth, and it is not something that can be made more. So you know that the wealth is there. It is a hold for money.
Yeah, I know.
Bitcoin is not usable. It's not easily transferable, and it will never be used in a day-to-day transaction. It's a wealth storage system. That's what it is. So if you believe that it's a wealth storage system, and that it's completely opposed to the world banking system, which is has all of the politicians in the pocket of the world, it is very easy to assume that if Bitcoin gets big enough, they'll say
it's worthless.
No. They'll say Bitcoin is now funding terrorism, and it is illegal to own Bitcoin. And if you are caught owning Bitcoin, you will be put in jail, and we will seize all of your assets.
Exactly what I'm saying. It'll be worthless.
Overnight, Bitcoin will crash, and it will be worthless. Why? Because it literally is.
It's a threat.
It's a
to
threat.
Their system.
It's a threat to their system. It's too small right now. Where we're talking trillions of dollars in Bitcoin.
You know what?
We're talking gazillions of dollars across the across.
No,
the planet,
we are.
Right?
But what I'm also
that's my fear.
But guess what? It's the same. It's almost the same thing with stocks, man.
It's almost
the same. It's almost very, very close.
So the difference with stocks is they're controlled by massive corporations own massive amounts of stocks. BlackRock, all Vanguard, all these different companies own massive swaths of it, and they're actually wagging the dog. They can really control what's happening with corporations and stuff like that. So my thing on Bitcoin is I love Bitcoin. I love the concept of Bitcoin.
But it's not even the regulations around the world too. It's different in each continent too, right? Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So it's very gray.
It'd be very easy for them to say it's illegal to own Bitcoin. If you're caught owning Bitcoin, we know that you're helping in terrorism. And now your assets are forfeit and blah blah blah. And guess what? You don't think they'll do that? Guess what? They froze bank accounts for donating to truckers. So if you think they won't take your money,
I won't even, buddy. I'm not even going to go there.
You're going to destroy the fiat system that they created, and they, let's face it, want to keep it in place. It's a very weak system. We believe that the fiat system is all we've known, but we believe money matters, so it matters. That's the only thing that holds the system.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I mean, it is.
So that's my thought on Bitcoin.
So when you're going to go, if someone does buy Bitcoin, any kind of coin or whatever, my suggestion is to educate yourself.
100%, dude.
That's all I have to say. And I'll leave it at that because 100%. I won't get into the back politics of everything else like we just did right now. Because to be honest, I don't know enough to be able to say enough.
That's my point exactly. Right? I know real estate. I know all the nuances of real estate. Guess where I should be investing my money? In real estate. Yeah. I don't know all of the nuances of the fiat currency versus Bitcoin versus Coin and all the other, Ethereums and all the others out there. And you can say that you do because you read some articles, but you really don't because you don't know what's going on behind the curtains.
It's a school of hard knocks, man. Like I said before. 100%. School of hard knocks.
So that's the way I look at Bitcoin. I understand.
I had to ask you a question because your eyes lit up when I asked about it. Yeah. I was like, oh, really? You want to ask me that question?
Yeah.
I'll give you an answer to that question.
I'm going to blow your world up, pal.
Yeah,
Bitcoin's the worst. No, honestly, I mean, I get it. Ride the bus if you want. But I would not be surprised if it got to a certain point, at some point, maybe that's $1 million a coin.
You're not wrong because it will be regulated. It'll be completely, strictly regulated soon.
I don't even think it'll be strictly regulated. I think it'll just be like, oh, that faucet is now off.
And hey, man. It very well could be.
Do we've
seen crazier things.
They can do whatever they want.
We have seen crazier things.
No, they took people's rights away in America because of 9/11.
Yep.
You can be locked up in America now for we're suspecting you of terrorism. No trial. You're in prison.
Yep.
That was the Freedom Act.
Yep.
And people cheered. Your rights were gone, and everyone was like,
"Yep,
this is a good idea. Keep me safe."
Man, it's a different world we live in than it was. It's a way different world than it was in the 70s and 90s.
I look at Bitcoin like I love the idea. I think the idea is perfectly pure, and I think it will be shut down because of it.
Probably.
The very reason why people are wanting to buy Bitcoin and believe in it. I could not
tell you yes or no.
The exact reason why it'll be shut down.
Yep.
That's my.
But they have huge swings too, man.
Oh, dude.
The swings, and when it goes down, it takes forever to come back up.
Yeah. Well.
So it's about your patience. What kind of patience do you have?
Yeah.
Really, what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay. Go to work.
I'm not going to work today. It's my day off.
Sick. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Just kidding. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right.
That's it. Done.